Okay. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Mic test. Are we good? I think so. Check, check, mic check. Yep, we are live. Okay. So I'm just stupid in general, and there's a lot of. Let me just quit all the apps. I should have done this before we went live. Okay. Hello everyone. There's an echo. Thank you. Um, yeah, I think I'm using both the mics. Give me a second. Okay, is it better? Is it okay, it's gonna take time for you guys, obviously. It should be better in general. The quality should be fine. The screen quality is fine as well. I'm just having some internet issues, guys. In case the stream goes down, someone just dropped me a text on WhatsApp or something. That hey, your stream isn't working or whatever, and that should be fine. Thanks, everyone. Okay, cool. Uh, we are live. Let me just put on my glasses and let's just get started. Okay. Few things. First of all, a general advice to everyone: if you are looking to buy a, let's just say, a Wi-Fi router or a Wi-Fi connection, please do not buy Geo Air Fiber because it's one of the most horrible internet connections ever to exist. It's just horrible. So, yeah. Anyways, let's just get started on what we are here to do, which is, let's just see. Okay, so we have 9, 10 people, which is fun, I guess. Everyone, can you just drop a hi? So a few people have already dropped text or whatever. The stream, once again, today it's not in low latency, it's in normal latency. So if you guys could just drop a hi, that should be fine. Then expect a delay of 20, 30 seconds. And yeah. Okay. So first things first, there are a few things. First and foremost is the scam beating thingy. This is something that we have discussed kind of, before. But I wanted to go in depth as to why I do it, why do we care about it, how to do it, all of that stuff. I can't just make a YouTube video about it because that might be considered hacking, especially, and YouTube does not, like, I remember the time when YouTube just took down one of my videos for not following community guidelines. So that kind of sucks. So I think we'll keep it on live and we'll not use words like hacking or whatever. But installed air fiber a few days ago. Sahil, I'm so sorry. It's just horrible. Uh, it's horrible reception. I think it's just the area that I live in. I would prefer Geo Fiber, the physical cable. Both of them cost the same, but the reliance is horrible. My speaker is on low value. Guys, is my voice like kind of okay? Do you want it to be a bit higher or lower or whatever? Just let me know. I will make fixes on the fly. That's fine. OBS is open, you know. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, scam beating. We're going to be talking about it without using words like hacking or phishing or whatever, just to make sure that hey, YouTube doesn't ban us. Another thing is we have an Obsidian Vault tour, and I want to talk about what is Obsidian and why do I care so much about Obsidian in the way I take notes and everything. So we'll be doing that as well, a bit higher. You want the voice a bit higher? I mean, I can just shout. You know, there's always that option. Yeah, same. Fiber wasn't available. Okay, I'm gonna increase the volume. Let me know if that's a bit too much, and if it's too much, we'll tone it down a bit. So yeah, this should be fine. I increased it a bit, and yeah, I can go live on Telegram. I am not sure, Dakshil. I don't think OBS gives me the option. I can just check it in the settings right now. I don't think so. No. I'll have to use like special API keys and streaming at two places at the same time. I wouldn't do that to my poor MacBook. So yeah. Also, guys, stop distracting me. Come on, we are here to focus on something. So YouTube can't block you. Oh yeah, good point, Takshal. But my audience is mostly on YouTube, and given that my channel is on YouTube as well, I would prefer to keep everything on YouTube. You know, makes sense. All right. Then we have scripting. I just, scripting as in Python scripting and, everything in general. We'll talk about that later on if we feel like it. That's not kind of that important. Then we have cloud VMs. Kindly yes, raise your voice. Suraj, are you running behind in live? Am I not shouting already? Uh, I'm on voice isolation. I understand that. Okay, is this better, guys? I'm gonna just disable the entire mic and just re-add it. Give me a second. Okay, this should be fine. This should be loud enough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really sorry. If you guys are on headphones, it's not my fault. It's Suraj's fault. Blame Suraj. I really don't care. Okay, next thing, as I was saying, cloud VMs. So I will suggest a few services that I personally use. Something that I would suggest you guys should use as well. And maybe, it's a free service, so maybe you can have your own cloud computer. We'll talk about that. Then we have VPN and DNS setup, which would be a bit difficult to showcase, given that I'm doing this live on YouTube. But we'll talk about it. What is, especially I want to talk about Tailscale and why it matters so much, then the privacy extensions that I use. So whatever, I'm gonna start with something, talk about Obsidian first, and then we'll jump into everything else. So Obsidian, for those who don't know, and there are a lot of people who already know what Obsidian is, but I'm still gonna open up the website. Obsidian is a note-taking application, kind of. Now, you guys might find it boring. Like, why would you want to take notes? I mean, people use just notes application. People just use their, notes. Right? I'm not gonna open up my notes right now, but people just use notes, or people use Google Keep, or a lot of people, a lot of you guys use Google Keep to save your passwords. Please don't do that. Just don't. And you have different. A lot of people just put everything in their notepad or whatever. And this is my Sublime text. I sometimes take some notes here. You can do that, or you have a lot of different applications or whatever, but that's not what they are there for. Obsidian is a bit special. First things first, Obsidian just uses text files, which actually chooses text files which are in a markdown format. So if you guys have ever used GitHub, and last time we were talking about GitHub, so every single time, let's say we'll just open up a project like OpenDevin, sure. So in this project, when you read the README file, which is given, all of this, you see these toggles, you see these video embeds, you see the different lines and the headings and all of it. That is just a markdown file. It's just a readme file that we see. Now Obsidian is basically an editor which helps you do that, kind of. Okay, now it's not just that, you also have text files. So that means whatever notes you take, those notes technically can be synced across anywhere. If for some reason Obsidian decides to go down, you can just take all of your notes and just go somewhere else, and whatever. So yeah, Suraj, good point. One of the strongest blocks in Minecraft, Obsidian. Yes, kind of. In reality, Obsidian is actually very fragile, also known as dragon glass, also known as the thing that kills white walkers from whatever. Yeah, we are not going to talk about Game of Thrones. Anyway, so that's what Obsidian is. It's free. It's not exactly open source, but it's free. It has all of the apps, like it has a MacBook app, iPad app, iPhone app, whatever you want. Also works on Android, really well on Android, and really well on Windows. Now this is what I've been using, and this is what you guys must have noticed the last time I was using it, right? Excuse me. So now I'm just gonna go into read mode, and I'm gonna showcase a few things. I'm gonna take this tab, and I'm gonna actually try to duplicate it, and let's just take, close everything else, YouTube live, open in a, open to the right, and okay. So what here is happening is, on my left side I have something that is known as the editing view, and on my left side I have something known as the reading mode, right? I just want to showcase The differences. So for example, if I just do hashtag space and just type heading one, that is going to show up as a heading, right? Once again, I know very riveting content, but whatever. Then if I, for example, do two hashtags, then it's just heading two, right? And that's just heading two, and so on and so forth. Now that in on itself is not that, okay, it's cool, it's not that big of a deal. But the power of this comes in when I start using links. So for example, if I do this, I can actually take any of these links once again. For example, I can connect it with, let's just connect it with things to check. Why not? Right? So what is going to happen is if I click on this, it's going to open up a note which directly goes which already exists in my, vault, which will open up things to check. So for example, see, this is what I use. This is what we call a Kanban type thing. Let me just close this so you guys can have a proper view. This is what I call a Kanban board. That's the actual term, which means when you are done with something, you actually move. So for example, yet to check. So I have different games that I'm planning to install and download and buy. Once I'm done with that, I can just put it to more attention. So for example, you can see there are certain things that I should check. For example, the Devin AI or the Devika. I have yet to make a video about it. So what I'm going to do is once I, you know, check it or whatever, I'll just drag it and I'll put it in done. Okay. So like, hey, that's done. So that's just going to go away. And I can actually create up different types of, you know, tabs or columns or whatever. This is just one small functionality of it, right? But Obsidian also has something known as a graph mode. So if I actually go into graph mode, all of this are my nodes and they are just connected to each other. Once again, like CRM, kind of, kind of. Uh, so yeah, what I was saying is that all of these nodes are connected, and I think everyone should get into Obsidian. I don't think I'm doing justice to the way Obsidian is working, but I think all of you should get into it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up today's note, and this is how my note looks like. So what I have done is basically this is a template. So every single day Obsidian is going to open up with a specific note template kind of, and it's what we call daily notes. And there are daily notes for everything. You just add the tasks here. So you add your tasks and then you add your communication log. So everything that you have discussed, let's say you had a meeting in office, let's say you had a phone call with your friend. If you want to jot it down, you can just do that. Missed and then thoughts. This is how personally I have been using Obsidian. One of my friend wanted to know, so that's why this is a topic in today's live, but it's just a template. The other thing is the way I organize my Obsidian Vault. So if you actually focus on the leftmost side, I think I can increase the size. Yeah. So my Obsidian vault is just called Aman's Cave. It is similar to Plato's Cave. Once again, I know the viewers are dropping off. I don't care. Okay, a lot of you might find this boring, but whatever. We're gonna go to interesting stuff later on after 5 minutes. So cool. So if you actually see, this is what my vault is called, and then I have different projects going on. So which is what I categorize it into something known as efforts. So then you have notes, then you have ongoing, shimmering, and sleeping, which just means that there are certain projects that I'm working live. I need to work on them right now. That is something that I'm doing right now. So, for example, there would be GitHub training. This is something that I've been working on since a really long time at my company. Then I have ongoing projects. So, there are certain courses coming up. I'm working on certain courses. Then we have shimmering. There's nothing in the shimmering, it's just, hibernation stuff. And sleeping on, there's a project that I'm working on with Crowdin. It's just a localization tool. It's in sleeping mode. There have been not any new updates, so I'm not gonna, care about it. So this is how I categorize projects. This is how I personally maintain it. Now, as a student, a lot of you, I don't think there are not many people who do note taking. A lot of people don't even. I know a lot of my students never even took a book to their class. Okay, whatever. But this is something that I'm doing. Then I have daily notes. So I have daily notes for like basically all of the last 5 days. I have something known as plus, which just means, hey, flat finding in YouTube Live. So it's just extra notes which do not fall into a category. So they go here. And then I have something known as Atlas. So Atlas is basically, once again, where all of my work, all of my notes reside in. What do I mean by that? For example, website publish is basically, this is basically my own website. So amanveresia.com. If you open it, you will see these notes. Right now, I know Obsidian Sync isn't working exactly, but whatever. Then I have utilities. So this is where I put extra stuff like Xcali Draw, images, templates, whatever there might be, extra stuff that I might need. All of that would be in utilities. Notes is where I have ideas and sources. So for example, ideas would have things to check, things that I need to work on, things that are like just good ideas that I had. Or sources is basically calculating favorite quotes, frustrating things, Telegram, command center, text to image, something that I might be working on, something that might work as a documentation for me in the future, or, all of that stuff. Then we have maps. So maps has location and people. So at the moment, location just has inventor, which is the name of the company that I currently work with. And people is basically a note on every single person that I know in my life. Every single important person that I know in my life, they will have a note here, which just means I am not going to open up notes because there's a lot of sensitive information about a lot of people, but they will have a note here. Okay. So if you open up there, for example, I think I can open up one for my roommate. That should be fine because there's not much information. It's something I created recently. So for example, if you can see this, it just says, hey, type person relationship flatmate. That's it, right? So this kind of just works out. There are more things I can in future just add more things that hey whatever remind me to buy this or whatever. So I can technically set reminders as well in Obsidian if I want to. So yeah, a lot of things I can just say. For example, reminder to bring groceries, whatever. And then if I do this, I can just select the date and I inside the date I can just write hey whatever, let's remind me at 3 p.m. And what I can do is this will just set a reminder and that's basically it. So yeah, this is basically it. That is basically my Obsidian Vault. And yeah, a lot of crazy things can be done. You can create your own book management software. You can create your own movie database. It's crazy. Also, there are like so many different community plugins that you can actually check out if you get the time. I'm gonna reset the view to normal. Yeah, so you can actually check out a lot of community plugins which will increase the way it works. You can also use Git inside it. You can use advanced types. Once again, listen, I am not the leading authority on this. It's really cool. That's all I would say. If you're into it, go for it. Also, one more thing that I really love about Obsidian is it gives you an option to create something known as drawings. Now, what do I mean by that? You might be thinking, hey, what do you mean? What do you mean drawings? Well, the thing is, if I could open up, let's just say something that I was working on recently. So these are basically my GitHub drawings, kind of. This is what I use for illustration purposes. And if you notice, all of this stuff has been created in something known as Xcali Draw, right? It's an amazing software. It's like Canva but free, and I think it's really really pretty. You can do a lot of stuff. Let me just create a new drawing, and maybe we can I can show it to you why that is so cool. So let's just do a new drawing. And yeah, once again, sorry, light mode users, but whatever. I'm gonna draw, and it looks amazing. Okay, not just drawing, but it just says amazing. Like, hi people on YouTube. It has a handwriting field. You can create your notes. Whatever. I think that should be enough stuff for Obsidian. If I go on longer than this, I think I'm gonna lose viewership. But whatever. So that's Obsidian. Good to know. If anyone's more interested, you can actually, reach out to me, and maybe if you want more resources or whatever, I can definitely, yeah, figure it out. Also, I use Vim bindings. For those who don't know, Vim is a text editor, kind of. It's a lot of things, but I use Vim bindings. So, for example, if I want to delete this entire, row, I can just instead of selecting and deleting, I can just press DD and that will just delete it, and I can just press U to undo or whatever. uh really pretty, really nice. So yeah, you can just basically do that. Anyways, so Obsidian Vault tour is done. Now I'm gonna move on to something else. uh is there anyone, people, do you guys want to choose which topic do we go next? I'm just gonna ask the chat, so you guys decide, tell me. While I figure out a few things on OBS, also, if there's a topic that you want me to talk about which does not exist here, that is completely fine. You drop it in the chat. If I have enough knowledge, I'll let you know. If I don't have enough knowledge about it, I'm gonna take some time and I'll get back to you eventually. So, yeah. And now there's an awkward silence, which will be there. So that's okay. VPN, privacy. All right. I see two VPNs, so might as well, just go for VPN. Okay. All right. VPNs and DNS personal setup. Now, why do we care about VPNs? What is exactly the thing? Now, it's not exactly the type of VPN that you guys are thinking. Now the reason I say that is because everyone thinks that, oh, VPN is something that you use to change your IP addresses. Now, my students might already know that, hey, that is not what we use VPN for. But VPN initially was introduced because so people could access a specific machine which was very far away from them, right? So what I technically right now I'm personally using is a software known as Tailscale. Tailscale personally I think is amazing. Now, some of you might already know, some of you might have already set up Tailscale, but I'm just gonna go through the whole thing, assuming none of you know anything. So Tailscale is just a very simple WireGuard VPN thingy. WireGuard is just a protocol. What it does is, for example, if you install Tailscale on your laptop and if you install Tailscale on your Android phone or your iPhone, it will make, and if you're connected to the network, it will make it so that all of you are in the same local network. What do I mean by that? So once again, we're going to take help from our good friend Obsidian to just pick up one of the drawings. So example, let's say this is one of your device and let's just say this is, for some reason, this is your laptop, and let's just take another device and let's just call it your iPhone, because it's not your phone, it's your iPhone. People who have iPhone, you understand what I'm talking about. And Android, just call it Android, whatever. And let's say you have another office computer, and let's just draw it. Okay, cool. So what's going to happen is you have all of these different computers always. Your office computer is obviously at your office. Your laptop is, obviously at your home, and so on and so forth. Maybe let's say this Android device is at your office. And so, for example, this is connected in a LAN network. This is also connected in a LAN network. Uh, let's actually make sure. Yeah. And I'm just going to say home Wi-Fi. And this is your office Wi-Fi, right? For office, you use an Android phone. For home, you use an iPhone, whatever. Now, what is happening is normally a lot of people don't have such use cases, but I'll talk about myself. A lot of times, what I do is I control my laptop from my phone, or I control, for example, I'm going to add one more node and I'm going to call it Raspberry Pi. So let's just say this is my Pi, this is my Pi cluster. And a lot of time people don't consider this a thing, but wait, what just happened? Okay, never mind. You know what? Obsidian is kind of, I don't know, something's wrong with it. So I'm just going to call it Pi here, and then we draw this, I guess. Okay. So basically what is happening is I have a lot of devices, and if I want to control my Pi, now my Pi might or might not be connected to the internet. I don't really know, but if I want to access SSH on my machine, it's not usually possible if I'm away from my home Wi-Fi. Let's say there's a media server that I want to access that exists on my Raspberry Pi, but I can't access it because it's let's say I want to access it from my office. It's not possible. They are in different networks, right? This is exactly the same when you guys create a phishing server, but your local IP address cannot be exposed to the internet out there. What do? You use some service known as local exposure, NGROK, right? A lot of you guys use NGROK or used to use it. Why? Because you want to expose your local IP address, your local port numbers to the outside world, to the outside internet, right? That's the entire point. Now, what Tailscale does is, so for all these 5 devices, if all of them are connected on Tailscale using one account, what's going to happen is I can use my office computer and I can just directly access my Pi. I can directly just access it as if they were in the same network. Okay, so the same way you can use your Android to access your office computer because they are in the same office Wi-Fi, you can now have cross-platform connection, so your laptop can access your Android, and so on and so forth. You can use your iPhone to access your computer, or whatever. You can have infinite, well, not infinite, but five. Wait, is it infinite? I don't think it's infinite. It should be 5C2. That should be what, 5 times 4. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm a mathematician. I have to do this. That is what, 10 different options, I guess. So, yeah, 10 different connections if you have 5 devices, whatever. You can do all of that just using Tailscale. So, what's the point? So, once you install this, once again, it's completely free. Yeah, you can just, it makes your networking easy. You connect all of it together, and that's it. Now, you might be thinking, why do I care about it, Aman? What's the point? Why should I ever connect my laptop with my office laptop, or why should I ever connect my phone? Well, let me tell you this. If you have a server running, which I do most of the time, I have a server running somewhere which is doing something, right? I might need to access it from anywhere around in the world. I have a Mediaplex server running at my house, which is not here, not in Ahmedabad, but in Amreli. Okay, I don't have the connection right now. I won't be able to show it. But what it means is, because that is also connected to my Tailscale device, I can access it whenever I want. I can watch, whatever. Let's say there are some photos on that server. If I was there locally, I could access it, but over Tailscale, over the internet, I can also access it as well. Okay. Another thing is I can also use it as an exit node, which means right now my internet connection is going through my Geo air fiber, right? My IP address is whatever, my IP address is whatever Geo is giving me is from Ahmedabad. But let's say I don't want it to be from Ahmedabad, I want it to be from Mumbai. I can do that. I can just use something else as an exit node. The sad part is I cannot show it on a live, because if I do that, my connection is gonna drop, right? But I can actually just show it to till the last step. So for example, if I go to exit node, I can actually just select that, okay, I can use my Oracle server or my Office desktop, right? That is something that I have the choice of doing it. Right now it's grayed out because I have certain settings and everything stopped, but you can eventually see, you can just click on it, and what will happen is I'll be able to uh, have that specific IP address. That's basically it. So I'm gonna show you guys my admin console. Also, this is how I was, using. Yeah, you guys can see my. I once again, I don't care if you see my IP addresses, because these are internal IP addresses, and it doesn't matter if you guys see it. You won't be able to access it. That's the thing. Okay, so as I was saying, this is how me and my friends we would connect our uh, Minecraft servers, because, or Counter Strike or whatever, like, because if you're using a fake version of Minecraft or T launcher or pirated version, so I had the genuine version, my friend had the pirated version, and what happened is my friend cannot connect to my server unless it's on the local network. But I'm sitting here, my friend is sitting, for example, in Canada, and I want us both to be in the same Wi-Fi network. So we both use Tailscale. We just share our network, and that's basically it. So yeah, that's what Tailscale is, and I should update my Tailscale installation eventually. But that's what basically it is, and I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool. I think it makes a lot of sense. Now, Tailscale is not limited to this much. There are a lot more features. So one of the main features of Tailscale is, if I have a server running, which I don't think I do right now. I'm gonna open up my terminal. Let's just try to uh, create some sort of a website. So I'm just gonna say website. I'm gonna create a very, very, very simple HTML page. Give me a second. My HTML is a bit rusty. Hello, it works. H1 tags. And we're gonna pipe it into, let's say, index.html, sure. And I'm just gonna use a Python library server. I think it's bind 0.0.0 to port number 80. And yeah, that should do it. So for example, if I open up my local host at port number 80, it will open up my website. This is my website, right? Hello, it works. Now, what if I want to open up this website from my phone? Well, it's very simple. All I need to do is I just need to take this IP address. That's it. This IP address, and I can just copy it and I can just put it on my mobile phone, and it will work. It will just show me this website, right? Now, what if you guys want to see the website, right? What if you guys want to see the website, but it's not possible? See, if you guys put this IP address in, nothing's gonna happen. It's not possible, right? I'll answer that question in a while, Takshil. So what if you guys want to see it? What if you guys, what if I have some server running, and what if you guys might want to join? So it's actually very simple. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up a new thing, and let me just once again confirm if I have Tailscale CLI. Oh, I don't. Hmm. Okay, this kind of throws a wrench into my plans. Um. All right, that is unexpected. Give me a second while I figure that out. Okay, I have SSH keys here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, and let's just stop running this for a second, and let's just connect to our Ubuntu server. So what I'm gonna do is SSH Ubuntu at the rate, and let's just connect to our Oracle server, which already has a funnel running. So that's completely fine. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the IP address. One second, if it's not making sense, guys, it's completely all right. It doesn't matter. So we are connecting to our cloud server, and it already has a funnel running. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say sudo tailscale. Uh, let's just see if we can clear. Yeah, we can just reset. So let's just reset the funnel. So if I actually, yeah, funnel is gone here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a very simple website again. Hello world, I'm just going to write hello.txt, and we'll pipe it to index.html because why not? And we'll also create a new folder, and let's just move. Hopefully you guys can see my terminal. And we'll just move. Oh, MP does not exist. Guys, Madhya Pradesh does not exist. Funny joke, whatever. Okay. Let's just go inside. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I made that joke. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a Python server right here, right again. HTTP server. We might have to actually put this in the background. Doesn't matter. 0.0.0.0, port number 80. That should be fine. What I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna give it sudo permission. But I'm also gonna put no hop just to make sure this goes in the background. So let's just actually do an ampersand. Okay. So if I actually take this address right here, and if I actually just open up, oh, I already have an Oracle server running. I don't know why I did that then. Oops. Okay, whatever. I have a website server already running. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the funnel right now. So if I do sudo tailscale uh, funnel, I guess that's the command funnel, and I'm just gonna write uh, 80. Is that it? Can we just do HTTPS? Yeah, HTTPS 80. What am I? Oh, I should just write the port number. All right, tailscale funnel 80. Uh-huh. Okay. So if you guys go on this specific link on the internet, and I'm gonna copy paste this into the live stream. If you actually go on that link, oh, we can see stream analytics, whatever. If you actually go on that link, you will actually see this page. Click on the link and whatever you see right now. I expect a lot of viewers are going to drop. But if you click on that link, what's going to happen is you will end up being on this page. Uh, and see, guys, we are not in a TSQL connection. But what I did is I just exposed my server to you guys out on the internet, right? uh, Once again, this is connecting to how actually I fish the scammers. This is what I use. I don't use things like Servio or localhost run or whatever. I use this. So yeah, Takshil says it works. I don't know other guys, other people, whatever, first guys. Is it working? I hope so. It's a lot of configuration. I know it was a lot of terminal commands, and if you guys are interested, maybe I'll make a video about it. Maybe I'll make a written documentation or tutorial. But the thing is, if I'm gonna put that much effort, I need to know if there are enough people who want that thing. So yeah, because considering YouTube isn't my day job, you know, no offense, but yeah. Okay, it works. There's just a delay. Cool. It works for Takshil and JNL. So I'm gonna assume, yeah, a few viewers dropped. So I'm assuming people clicked on that link. It's a very simple thing. I think there's also a secret page somewhere. Yeah, if you go to slash secrets, it just says you think I'm stupid enough to hide actual secret. It's a funny thing. I'm gonna show you guys the directory structure. Uh, Give me a second. I'll have to type it again. SSH Ubuntu uh, at the rate. Let's copy whatever was the IP address and hyphen I SSH whatever. So I'll show you guys the structure. Also, you can try to hack the website. Yeah, there's just like an index.html and a secret file. Uh, oh yeah, you can you can do that. It's fine. Oh Daniel, it's not working for you. The link isn't working. It's working for most of the people. Maybe check your connection. Um, okay, so yeah, that's basically it. This is what Tailscale is. It's fun. Uh, there's a one more secret surprise feature for you guys. But I'm gonna stop the server now. I think that should be enough. Once again, there's a delay, so uh, 30 seconds, आगे पीछे whatever. If you're still on the server, it's gonna suddenly stop working. So I'm really sorry about that. And Control C, what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna reboot the server just to make sure, everything is fine. Okay. Uh, did that also crash my terminal? Really? All right, Oracle, you kind of suck. Okay, so this is not gonna work anymore. So I'm just gonna close all of these tabs. But what else can we do? What's the fun part? So it has something known as DNS. So if you actually notice, I run my own DNS server. Now, why? Why would you want to do that? So now for people who do not know, a DNS is just something known as a domain name server. And now I am explaining this for the 10,000th time. I'm not gonna drag anything else. Let me just grab the iPhone from here and whatever. Let's just also grab the laptop. Oh, of course, it is connected to Android. Okay, let's just grab it on the side and let's just see what we can do. Okay, so a DNS server is basically like a phone book which contains a lot of information. So I'm just gonna write DNS. So every single time you visit a website, you don't remember the IP addresses, right? Every single time you want to call your friend, you don't remember the number. Well, if they are your special friend, you might. But what you eventually do is you just type their contact name and you just hope that it works and the phone dials the number automatically. Similar way, when you actually go to google.com, what's going to happen is you don't remember the IP address for Google. You will just type google.com, right? Whatever is the IP address. So we can actually just find out that what is the IP address for google.com. If we just do take google.com, uh, wait, where's the IP address? Oh yeah, this one. So this is the IP address. So let's just put it here. So the domain name server is going to be like, hey, listen, you wanted the IP address for Google. This is the IP address. And that's your answer. Now you can dial it up yourself or whatever you want to do, figure it out. So that's what a DNS is. Now what I'm doing is, uh, of the link, I have no idea what Arthav is talking about, but yeah. Okay. So Arthav, maybe you can, explain properly in chat what you're talking about. So here in my browser, what I mean by my own DNS server is I don't rely on Cloudflare. I don't rely on Google DNS. There are many, many, many DNS providers. Well, I technically, rely on uh, Cloudflare, but whatever. What I do rely on is something known as NextDNS. Now, NextDNS, once again, is an amazing service. So what I do in NextDNS is, and I'm gonna click on try it now. And once again, guys, if you use my next DNS server, if you want, I don't mind. I don't care if see, I'm not gonna hide this information because if you are using it, you are giving me your data. So I once again don't care. But what my next DNS does is, so this is my configuration profile. We'll just start from security. Okay. Give me a second. I'm getting a ton of messages. I'm gonna try to mute a few things. I explained my question in the previous chat. What do you mean previous chat? There's only one text from you, Arthur. Uh, all right. Okay. I think I'm confused. I think Arthur is confused. I think everyone is confused. Okay. So, as I was saying, oh my God, a lot of notifications, guys. Give me a second. Okay. Mute for an hour. Let's just hope that wasn't important. Okay. So, as I was speaking, so first thing is, if I'm using this DNS server, I am first of all using that, hey, block all the domains which I think are malicious or whatever, which might launch phishing attacks or whatever. So if I have this turned on, my laptop is practically safe. My laptop is just using this DNS server, so it's practically safe. Then I have AI driven threat detection, which just means that, hey, I am gonna block a lot of threats, whatever. If there's a malicious link or whatever, that's gonna get blocked. Google Safe Browsing, once again, that's Google's their own proprietary solution, which will just block phishing websites or whatever. And cryptojacking protection, just in case some browser wants to, or some JavaScript wants to mine Bitcoin from my browser, that's not going to happen. DNS rebinding, there's a lot of stuff. Typo squatting is basically, oh yeah, this is my favorite. So instead of going to google.com, if by mistake I go to google.com, or GOOGLE, or something similar where I do not know if the actual website is correct or not. Maybe I clicked on a phishing link and it looks like a genuine website, but maybe it is not. So this is gonna save me from typo squatting. It's just gonna redirect me. And there's a lot of new stuff. I don't have half of the stuff enabled because I don't want to. So for example, yeah, block child sexual abuse material, which means that, hey, if there is any sort of uh, abuse material or whatever that exists, it will just be automatically blocked. So all of that stuff, you can just do it. That's the security part. Now comes the privacy part, and this is my favorite one because this is where we can do a lot of stuff. So first and foremost, NextDN is ads and trackers block list. This is just like running your own uBlock origin, but on the server. So it's gonna just not let the ads run. This is one of the reasons I do not get ad in my mobile games. I do not get ad on anything that I use, right? Because I'm just using the DNS server. Now I will say I use uBlock and I have YouTube Premium, but I'm telling you, if you have this on, you are pretty much safe from all the ads everywhere. So if you open up New York Times, it's not gonna look like a mess. If you open up, some random website, it's not gonna be filled with ads because this exists. So I have a lot of different block lists. These are just block lists, made by these specific things. I can add more block lists if I want. There are many, many, many customizable ones. So it depends on what you want. But yeah, this block list, Stephen Black, I don't use this because it does not let me visit a few malicious websites, because I, as a cybersecurity person, I might want to visit certain, uh, you know, malicious websites for research purposes, but whatever. You can do all of that. Also, goodbye ads. This is a really good one. I don't have it added because I don't get that many ads on my iPhone. But if you have an Android phone, if you have, let's say a MI or a Vivo or an Oppo or whatever, something that just shows you ads, I would suggest just add this and you should be fine. Native tracking protection, I have it off, but for example, if you are using a Xiaomi phone, if you don't want your, well, Xiaomi device to track you, you just add this and it will block every single request. So, there's that joke, or, whatever, the reality that your Redmi phone is basically giving all of your data back to China, or your Oppo, Vivo phone, whatever, is sending your data back to China, whatever. You can just turn this on and it's gonna, try to block as much as possible. Also, Samsung, see, telemetry exists everywhere. Even Windows sends a lot of information back. You can just add this, and I have not added it because I don't think it's gonna matter on my iPhone. But yeah, third party trackers and all of that, you just disable that. Then I have parental control, which is I don't necessarily need it, but you can do, you can just set it up if you want. You can just block certain websites. So let's say you want to block Tinder or Snapchat or whatever, you can do that. If you, one more thing. So if you live in a PG, or let's say if you just have access to the router, and if you set up Next DNS in your router as your DNS server, once again, it works on every single router. And if you just turn this on, your friend would not be able to use Snapchat and they would be confused. Okay. Also, this has measures that even if you use a VPN, it will still block it. Like your friend might just not be able to use Instagram or whatever, right? They might not be able to open Reddit, YouTube, Discord, Telegram, Minecraft. You can just stop someone from playing Minecraft. I think that's a amazing feature. You can add a lot of things. Amazon, Chat GPT, whatever. Chat GPT wala thing, that is something that I had set up. There was this uh, kind of a small hackathon type of thingy. Not exactly hackathon, but yeah, Instagram as well, sure. So what I did is I asked people to connect to my Wi-Fi router, but I made sure that ChatGPT and everything does not work, so people cannot just cheat using ChatGPT or whatever. So you can do that, whatever. Then you also have categories like, hey, if this wasn't powerful enough for you, just add categories. So you can just block off all adult websites, like literally all the adult websites, whatever. Gambling, you can just block all the gambling stuff. Dating websites, so you can make sure your best friend also dies single along with you. And piracy, if you want to do that, right? If you just want to stop piracy, so none of the pirate websites would open, you can do that. Recreation time, you can set it up that, hey, maybe allow, you can, this once again, I'm telling you, you can go into as much as customization as you want. Also safe search, YouTube restricted mode, and yeah, this one's my favorite. Just block bypass methods. That includes VPNs, proxies, store related software, and encrypted DNS providers. Nothing can bypass it. That's it. You just turn this on. I'm not going to do it. We will just turn it on, and that's it. If they want to use the Wi Fi, it's gone. So, yep. Okay. Deny list is the exact same thing. You can just deny a specific website subdomain. Allow list is basically the exact same thing, but you allow certain things. And then I have logs. Logs are my favorite part. I'm going to go to analytics. So I'll show you in the last 30 days. Once again, I've blocked over so total queries is 93,000. Out of them, 9,864 are blocked, 10%, which is basically 10%, right? Resolved domain, so it's basically my iCloud, in the back end. Also Oracle, because I keep on, accessing my VPN. Block domain, so metrics.icloud, then Facebook tries to send something. There's also telemetries. I don't know what this is, but hey, whatever, it's blocked. So most of it's just ads and trackers and yeah, whatever. App devices, my MacBook, my iPhone, my MacBook again because I recently resetted my Mac, so whatever. And then Aman's personal network, and then these are my IP addresses. Once again, I honestly don't care. Uh, so yeah, I think that's amazing. If we can we get like a whole thing? Oh no, I think I reset this as well. So you can see a lot of logs if you want. Uh, I think it's an amazing tool. That's basically it. I'm gonna decrease the size back again. I'm gonna keep the logs running for a second while so we can actually see live, block queries if there are any. So my phone is connected and my MacBook is connected. So whatever, I'm gonna read the chat. So hey, I replied to your story in which you tracked a scammer and asked how can we also track down the scammers, and even asked that how legitimate links which has YouTube, etc. Intellect. Okay. How to install? You wanna look? Okay, cool. So Atharva, see, we will talk about the scam beating mala thing immediately after this one. Don't worry about it. So I'm gonna answer your question. Also, typo squatting is, I told you that that's how they make hackers make, you know, legitimate links look like YouTube.com or whatever, but in reality, that's not possible, right? So you can just use domain squatting, but that's basically the end of it. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? Anything in the chat, guys, before we move on to the next topic? So the VPN thing is done. DNS VPN, actually, all of it is done. For some reason, my laptop is accessing GitHub and Instagram in the I don't know why. YouTube makes sense. GitHub does not. Instagram. I think I have Instagram over here. That's why. Interesting. I don't know what happened with King Gamer, but your message is retracted, or you might have deleted it. Cool. Okay, so let's just go back and check one thing off. That's VPN is DNS, VPNs. Wow. VPN and DNS personal setup is done. That's basically it. So next topic. What are we going for, guys? Come on. Scam baiting, scripting, cloud VMs, and privacy extensions. I should have some sort of wait music. See, what I'm talking about is, in KBC, when someone is trying to choose something and there's just like elevator music in the background. So, just to, fill up the things. Okay. Veer says scam. Okay. We'll go for scams. I mean, we'll go for scam beating, not for scams. Okay. Other people, do you have an opinion? Okay. Dakshil says scams. Cool. Oh, I'm getting some questions. Okay, I got a few questions. They're just asking why I resetted my Mac, or it was just too cluttered, and I don't know. I like to things. I like to start things from like fresh start, and I felt that my Mac was getting too cluttered or whatever, and I resetted actually all of my devices. So I reset my phone, I reset my MacBook, I reset my watch, I reset my Android phone. Uh, there were a lot of applications, and I couldn't be bothered to delete them or like uninstall them. Most of my stuff was already saved, and it seemed like the easiest way. So I hope that answers your question. Also, this question wasn't in the chat. I got it on my WhatsApp. So, hey, whatever. Cool. Scam baiting. Okay, you can add sound effect on OBS. I think, yeah, scams, life. Veer, why? What do you mean life? What's up? Okay, sound effect on OBS. Yeah, I know. It's just too much. Uh, I don't know, effort. I couldn't be bothered to do that. And let's just go for scam baiting. Cool. Now, scam baiting is actually a very, very simple thing. I'm going to stop next DNS. Okay. So, scam baiting is once again a very, very, very simple thing that I do. And it usually starts. Okay. Well, let's just start from the start. So, a lot of people ask me, how do I catch these scammers? The thing is, I don't, not necessarily. So, that's not exactly true. What happens is these scammers just happen to I'm going to create a note on it, so maybe it can help me better organize my thoughts. So yeah, scam baiting is actually a bit different. It's not exactly something that I go and find these people. So the first question is, uh, how do I find them? Answer is, I don't. They just come from, random WhatsApp messages. So random WhatsApp messages, or someone refers to me. So referral from someone, or someone might get an SMS. So maybe it's an SMS that I get, or my sister, my cousin, she keeps on sending me, these scam calls or whatever. So I just get their numbers. That's how I approach them. That's the thing. After approaching, what do I do? So there's a specific methodology that I focus on. The first and foremost is act dumb. That's it. You just act dumb. You make sure that you do whatever they are saying, but you don't. But you have to act dumb. You can't act smart. If you think, if you're acting too dumb, they're gonna still figure it out. You have to be the perfect amount of stupid in front of them for them to not realize that you are someone who knows this. So, for example, if they tell you that, hey, we have this excuse me, sorry. So, for example, if I take an example of a scam, which is, let's say, an investment scam. So, investment scam. Let's say they have some sort of an investment scam, and for example, they are just explaining you, they're sending you paragraphs and paragraphs that, hey, our investment does this much money, you send us 100 rupees, we'll make it 200 or whatever. If you just agree, if you just, act too dumb, then they're not going to believe you, right? if you act too suspicious that, hey, no, this is fake, whatever, I don't believe it, blah 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 blah, they're not gonna, take you for them. That's too advanced. This is gonna cut their losses. They'll just leave you. They'll block you probably. Don't do that. The point is to be mediocre. The point is to be right in the middle, and you just say, hey, I don't believe, how can you do that? Wow, that's amazing. How can you double your money? How is it possible? And they will always give you some random, bullshit explanation that, oh, we do, we use bitcoins or cryptocurrency or whatever, or we know some market thing or whatever. And you just be like, oh, interesting. So you let them have a chance to present their fake facts, and you let them believe that they have convinced you. Once again, I feel like I'm giving a lesson into how to manipulate people, but whatever, you just act dumb and you let them believe that they convinced you, because it is always going to be more trustworthy, or it is always going, they will always, you know sorry, I am unable to find the specific word for what it is, but it's like they're gonna trust you more if they feel that they won you, right? If they feel that they made an effort, and if that effort came to life, that means they are now hooked. Okay. It's a tendency of human beings. Like, if something is too easy, you are not going to want it, right? That is the reason that if there's a girl who approaches you, from samne se, for like a date or whatever, you are not going to be interested, right? But you are always going to go behind that one person who is not talking to you, or who is not specifically, who's probably acting like a bitch or whatever, right? I am, once again, it's just an example, guys. Don't freak out, whatever, right? So that's the human tendency. You should let them believe that, and once they try to convince you, get convinced. Once you are convinced, that's where the fun starts. Okay, manipulation equals classroom of elite. Suraj, I'm not gonna, no comments. Okay. Anyway, so once that starts, what you need to do is they're gonna present you a lot of information. Now, a lot of investment scams, they ask you to make an account. It's totally fine, make an account, as long as there's no actual transfer of money happening. That's completely fine. Okay. Now, certain scams, the one that recently happened, they will send you money samne se. So, for example, the investment scam that existed, that happened recently with me, was that they gave me money just to gain my trust. And so they send me like 150 rupees. Once again, it's not that big of an amount, because they are just investing in a scam. So they send 150 rupees. I am like, wow, I'm getting money. A normal person will be like, hey, I'm getting a money. Wow, this is trustworthy. Then they send 150 again just to gain your trust, right? And after that, the third time, they're going to be like, hey, listen, why don't you want to do your tasks, right? Just do your tasks. And the tasks are so stupid. Tasks are literally like, you just go on one of their website and you just take a screenshot and send it to them. But whatever, you, let's say whatever task it is, it's some stupid shit. You do it. Once that task is specifically done, they'll be like, hey, do you wanna withdraw 150 rupees right now? Or do you wanna earn more money? And then they will have they'll play these psychological tricks on you, the exact same way the mobile games, they make you pay for these gems. For example, in Clash of Clans, they will make you pay those gems because you don't want to wait for your stupid town hall to take, what, 7 days to get built, right? You don't want to wait for certain things, so they will ask you that, hey, maybe you want to uh, uh, go for a more thing, maybe you want to earn more money. Right. Now, I would be like, a lot of people would be like, no, 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 you know what, 150 rupees is fine, whatever. They'll give you another 150 rupees. But then what's going to happen is every single task, which was 50 rupees, they'll give you the first two tasks, they are going to be very easy. Okay, just screenshots. So you have 100 rupees. And they have a thing. They have like, if you reach 150 rupees, then and only then we can, let you withdraw. So the third task is going to be for 100 rupees, right? But the third task would be that, hey, now you need to invest money. And if you invest money, we'll make sure that it gets doubled. And in their Telegram group, there are like 15 to 25, fake accounts who are sending screenshots that, hey, I sent money. And then after 5 minutes, you will see, they will send screenshot, hey, I got my money back. So there are a lot of fake accounts, which it's just these people handling it. So there must be like a team of what, at least 2 to 3 people, right? So you get convinced, and you might get convinced, and you might send the money. And once you send the money, that's it. That's the scam. They spend 300 rupees on you and you send them 1,000. So they are in a profit of 700, right? Now, that is just what is happening. That is just the life cycle of the scam. What I'm suggesting is once you make sure that they are in they believe you and you have manipulated them enough, you start making excuses. So what I did is, and every single time it's going to be different, but I'm just going to give you the gist that, hey, I'm trying to send you money but I can't send you money. Okay, so there's some error. So the minute you say that, the minute you say that this to those little shits, these scammers, that, hey, I'm trying to send you money but there's some error, they will drop everything and they will try to help you. Okay, they'll legit drop everything and they'll try to help you and they'll be like, hey, how can what's going on? They'll be really nice to you. So if you just tell them, hey, I'm trying to send money through PayPal or UPI or whatever, it's not working, they'll ask for screenshots. But that's the thing, you don't send screenshots. Instead of screenshots, what I do is I generally have a server ready. I have a phishing link ready. I have a phishing link ready, which once again we'll talk about that shortly in a while. So I have a phishing link ready, which once again, this phishing link, it has a lot of things. So first of all, it can get me access to the cameras, then clipboard as well, location, and obviously their IP address if they're going to be connecting. So these four things I feel like are enough for me to actually, blackmail them or to scare them. Now, let me remind you, these scammers are not actually smart people. They are not. They they are barely 10th pass or 6th pass or whatever. They are not going to understand technology like the way you might. And so this is where we take the advantage. Now, a lot of those scammers are going to be like, hey, I'm not going to click on a link or whatever. But so this server is already ready. So this is my phishing link server and it has some URL. Okay, maybe it has an IP address, maybe it has some URL, whatever. You know, what you do is you take this URL and you put it into Grabify. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show it to you guys. So, for example, Grabify dot link. The scammers, yes, they are script kiddies. Grabify. See, this is the reason I sometimes don't use NextDNS because see now I can't access my Grabify, which technically is a I mean, it's a website which grabs your information. So yeah, I can't access Grabify. So that kind of sucks. So let's just go to next CNS and tell it that, hey, please leave Grabify alone. If I go to logs, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see it. I guess. Let's see if Grabify exists. Did it block Grabify? Yeah, I think it blocked it. I don't know why. What went wrong? But I'm gonna add Grabify to the list. Oh no. Yeah, Grabify is added. Let's try again. It might take a while for the DNS to actually figure it out. So I might just, disable the DNS for a second. The stream might lag for a second. Okay, Grabify works. Let's just log in. What do you think from where they learned this whole stuff? Uh, they have so Veer, I'll get back to you. Give me a second. I'll get back to you. I don't have saved passwords. Okay, cool. I'll get back to you within a second. So what I do is I take that link, and once again you can notice it's the exact same link which I put in the chat with you guys. I take that, I put it into Grabify, and then sometimes I start an email notification. Now what I've started doing recently is I just take the link and I put it into another Grabify link and whatever. You can change those, but doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna know when they click the link. Once they click the link, recently, I don't know if there was someone who was recent. Uh, yeah, this one. This was the recent scammer. So once they click the link, I have information. They are eventually gonna go to my phishing page. I'm gonna show the phishing page in a while, whatever. So what's gonna happen is from Grabify, they're gonna go to Grabidify, no Grabify. They're gonna go to my phishing page, and from my phishing page, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get access to certain things, which usually means there's just camera or whatever, right? Now, what do you do after that? So you take all of that information, you take the camera, you take the clipboard, you take the location and your IP address. Once again, that doesn't matter. But you can use the IP address to a few advantages. First of all, if they're using a VPN, the IP address is going to say something else. But I've always mentioned, see, yeah, this person, I believe one of them was using a VPN recently. I think it should be on the other link. So one of these people were using a VPN, and what ended up happening is Grabify just told me that, hey, listen, the time zone says India, but their IP address says China. So maybe something's off, right? I think it was here. Let me just check. Um, yeah, this one. I think it was this one. Their IP address said they are in Myanmar, but their time zone was Indian. I believe there was another scammer. If I could find one, I'll give me a second, guys. It's gonna be worth it. Yeah, this one. I think so. Was it this one? Yeah, whatever. I'm not really sure. But yeah. So one of these things. So the IP address was coming from a specific, country, but the time zone was different. And just based on time zone alone, you can actually figure out. So these hackers think that, oh, just because they are using a VPN, they are secure. So what happens is, once I have enough information, I just have a call. I maybe call them up, or maybe I just chat with them, and I start with the most simplest of things. I just ask them, where are they based out of? A lot of them are just gonna say, oh, they are in India, Delhi, or whatever, right? Then you start giving them information slowly and slowly to scare them. So I'm just gonna start with how to bypass scammers, VPN, and see original IP. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Nirav. So what you do is you just tell them that, hey, listen, I know you are lying. I know you are not in India. That's it. You don't say anything else. Once they hear that, they'll try to defend themselves. They'll send you Aadhaar card. They'll send you maps location. They'll send you this, that, whatever. We don't care about it, right? We have the location, and then we start telling them the street name. Now, I personally like to have fun, so I just tell them, "Oh, how's the weather in this specific locality? Was it raining recently?" So the recent scammer, he was from Delhi, and there was a metro station nearby. So I asked him, "How's the metro there?" He's like, no, 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 I don't stay in Delhi. And I'm like, no, 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 I know there's a metro station nearby you. You just start having fun. And then recently, one of them, like, so I got access to the clipboard and they had a reel saved in their clipboard. So I could just see that, oh, they were watching a reel. And I just opened up the reel and I just started telling them, oh, that was a funny reel. And that's when they think I have access to their phone. But in reality, I only have access to these four things. Once again, it's not difficult to actually behave as if you know what they have, right? Then camera. Once again, camera is the biggest thing, right? If you show someone their photos, they are gonna think you have access to their phone, and they're gonna freak out, and they're gonna start blocking you everywhere. So I just send them their photos, their confused photos, and that's basically it. They're gonna get very confused, and yeah, cool. That's basically it. But IP just give an approx location like I'm in Gandhinagar. Yeah, Arthav, that's the thing. This phishing that what I'm using, it gives you actual GPS location, like an actual one. I'll show it to you. What I mean by that. Let's just connect. So the script that I'm using, I think I already told it to people who were asking on Instagram. It's just Navy Stealer. Once again, you can go online and find it. From where you get their photos. Oh, they click on the link. It's that's what the phishing page is. So see, these people are gonna give access to their cameras because the way phishing page looks. Okay. If they don't give access to, yeah, okay. So, for example, I can go for sensitive info and you can see. So, sometimes a certain permissions are denied. That's okay. As long as I have enough information. For example, no, this is my own device. That's why. Okay. Sometimes, as long as I have enough permissions to, just assume, or sometimes if I have enough information to just let them know that, hey, I know what you're talking about. That's it. That's all you need to freak them out. The point is not to hack them. Listen, guys, in cybersecurity, the point is never to hack them. The point is to make them feel scared. And you wasting the scammer's time is more than good enough. The entire reason I do scam baiting is not because I want to catch these scammers or I want to report them to police. No, that's not going to happen. The realistic point of view is the more time they are spending on you, is that much amount of time is going away from someone else who might get scammed, and that's a good thing. Okay. So example, you can see, I know his battery percentage as well, and it's not charging. Okay. So I can just use this to my advantage, and that's what I do. I just tell them that, hey, your battery is at this percentage, and they're gonna freak out, and that's all I need. Okay. That's basically what scam beating is. It's not that glorified. Okay, once again, this is the GPS or latitude and longitude. Just put it into Google Maps and whatever. You figure it out. But the cam hacks websites doesn't work in background. What if they don't allow permission? That doesn't matter. As I said, that's not the point. The point is to scare them and having enough information. Sometimes it doesn't work. I'm telling you. Sometimes it's just bad luck. They don't agree on anything. Maybe they're smart enough. They don't agree on anything at all, and it just goes down the cutter. That's okay. Then you keep on wasting their time. That's it. That's the whole point. Right. Listen, the, I want to make something very clear for you guys. This isn't a tool. See, all of the tools that you get on GitHub, they're never going to be sophisticated enough for you to hack some person. The point is not to hack them. The point is to waste their time. Okay. I'm really sorry for people who came here with the intention that they're gonna learn how to, use this tool to, hack their friends' phones or whatever. No, you will have to try more sophisticated methods. This too, once again, Navy Stealer is something that exists on GitHub since a long time. And let me just, yeah, this is Navy Stealer, and I just made a few changes to it. Listen, if something is famous on GitHub, that means a lot of people know about it, right? There are like 565 stars right here. You can see there are 190 different forks or different copies, right? The point is, it's not going to be an effective solution. If you want to, you make your own, right? And once again, I am not going to explain how to use this tool. I'm not going to explain how you can git clone and whatever, because frankly, and once again, don't take it the wrong way, guys, but if you do not know how to git clone, if you do not know how to use a tool, if you do not know bash scripting, you should learn that before you go out being a script kiddie. I'm not trying to gatekeep everything. I'm not trying to gatekeep cybersecurity. I'm not trying to gatekeep any tool. I am happily here. I'm gonna give the link. I see there are a lot of people in cybersecurity. They don't give their tools out or whatever, right? I don't believe in that. I believe knowledge should be free. It should be given to everyone. But what I'm trying to tell you is you will put yourself in more harm if you try to go against a scammer, and if by chance if they are smart enough, you will put yourself into trouble. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Learn these things first, learn this shit first before you go around trying to do this. In fact, I even say a lot of people, a lot of my students as well, I won't take names, but a lot of you guys, you try to learn some phishing tool, or you try to run some phishing tool, and you try to send links to your friends, families, or whatever, but you don't know how you are exposing the local your local network to the internet. You don't know that. You don't know how NGROK is working. You don't know how local uh, host run or whatever that is working. And if you don't know, what's going to happen is if someone else actually figures out the link, I sent you guys a link, right? I sent you guys a link, and if you actually open up that link, you can technically have access to my cloud server. You can DDoS me. You can do a lot of bad things, right? If the scammer or if the end person is smart enough, they might just ruin your laptop. They might just ruin your life. I'm not exaggerating. It's half knowledge is dangerous. That's the entire point. Okay. So you start with these things. This will send specs, but not generating secret info.txt files. Nirav, it depends. If they have not given any of the permission, if they have not given clipboard location permission, I don't think the secret info file is getting generated. Also, I could be completely wrong. There might be something else going on that I might not be aware about. Maybe if you already have tried everything, if you have already tried all of the solutions, and if it's still not working, and if you want to troubleshoot, you can contact me. But I'm just gonna say it out there, and once again, I might sound really 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 arrogant, but whatever. If you're gonna send me an error or whatever, send me a proper freaking screenshot. Okay, I'll be more than happy to help you out in my free time. So yeah, reach out to me. Tomorrow's a Sunday. I'll be mostly free. So yeah, cool. I don't mind. Takshi says, first day of my internship, they teach me Bash first. Yeah, yeah, I mean, you should know Bash before you jump into uh, these tools. So, because a lot of people in cybersecurity, it's just, tools, tools, tools. You can do this, you can do that. And there's a lot of fake information that people just give around, try to sound cool. That is something that I hate. If you're using VM for hosting your phishing website, you safe or not? Um, you can host it at a lot of different places. Um, but there's no point if you're using a VM. The internet is still your own internet, right? So someone might just figure out your IP address and maybe, I mean, in India it's going to be fine probably. I'm not going to scare you there, but if someone can figure out your IP address, and maybe they can do a lot more other things. It's more about network protection than you know your actual device. That's what I would like to say. So yeah. Okay, I was talking something. Yeah, in a lot of places, a lot of lectures that people give, and a lot of workshops, a lot of hackers meetups. I wouldn't say hackers meetup specifically. I'm not talking about the hackers meetup. I'm talking about like hackers, meeting up in general. They tell it so that cybersecurity is like this, you know, magical thing, and you can, you know, get access to someone's Android phone by just sending an image to them or whatever bullshit. I recently, and once again, I'm not gonna name people, and whoever, if I'm talking about you, don't take it the wrong way. I don't think that specific person even watches the stream, but a recent incident happened. A certain someone, one of my student, reached out to me from one of my ex universities, and they said that, hey, I wanna, create some sort of a malware where I can put some, I can create an malicious PDF. Now, I told them that, hey, malicious PDFs are not, PDF, the entire file format is not, vulnerable. That's not how it works. It's just a file format. Nothing's gonna get executed. You're probably trying to find a bug in whatever thing is executing the PDF. Like, I'm not saying you cannot create, malicious sounding PDF, but hacking someone's laptop by just sending them a PDF, that's not true. Now, it wasn't the students' fault. They had another idea as well. Say, hey, what if we, put a malicious code inside an image, and I send that image to my friend on WhatsApp? Can I hack their phone? Now, once again, it wasn't the students' fault. I said no. I said no, that's not possible, because, a code does not just execute just because you are sending it inside an image. That's not how it works, right? But they were so convinced. They were so convinced about this idea because their professor told them that that's a possibility. That was fake knowledge. That was wrong knowledge. Their professor, I don't know if they're trying to sound cool. I don't know if whatever they're trying to sound convincing, but they gave some misinformation. I am not, once again, I do not claim malicious intent. Maybe the professor genuinely knows something that I do not. Okay. There are many, many, many people out there in the world who know 10, 100, thousands, and millions of times more than I know. But I'm going to ask whoever is, watching this live stream a very simple question. If there was an exploit, and this only exists for this particular scenario, if there was an exploit which can, you can put a malicious file inside an image, and you just send the image and the person gets hacked. If that existed out there in the world, and if this professor or is this person, they knew about it, tell me this, do you not think they would just report it to Google and earn like millions of dollars and get a job with Google? Do you not think that their name would be on the first level of HackerOne? or bug crowd or bug bounty or whatever, if they know that such a big bug exists in the current version of Android, why would they not report it? Do you think it's because they don't want to and they want to use it for personal gain? Fine. Why are they not using it for personal gain? Why are they not using it to hack politicians? Why are they not using it to hack high value targets? You can sell it on the black market. You can see these are what we call zero day vulnerabilities. You can sell it on the black market for literally millions and millions of dollars. You are set for life. Why aren't they doing that if it's such a big bug? That's what I want you guys to understand. If someone tells you that something is possible in cybersecurity, and if someone tells you that, hey, I know how to do this, I know how to do that, and if it seems too magical, just ask yourself this question: why are they not, actually reporting it, or why are they not a millionaire already? Okay, it's a very simple rule. Once again, no hate to whoever said it, but whatever. I'm just gonna read a chat for a while. When I use terminal, my friend saying I'm hacking, but in real time, I resize multiple photos on particle. Yeah, it's just as I said. A lot of people mystify cybersecurity. It's just simple. Okay, there's 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 no such thing that, oh, you will just get hacked by doing this, doing that. No. Okay, everyone who's in cybersecurity, I'm pretty sure your friend is your friend must have asked you 10,000 times at least, hey, can you hack this Instagram account for me? A lot of people just ask you, right? Can you hack an Instagram account for me? Why? No, that's not how it works. Okay, that's not how it. Veer, thank you for bringing up. I'll explain it in a second. That's not how it works. Okay, and a lot of times they're like, oh, can you hack it? They don't even tell you the account username. What are you supposed to just magically know the account username? And when you tell them that, hey, this is not how it works, you have to interact with them, and they're like, oh, you have to talk to them and send them a link or phishing or whatever, they just get disappointed. Like, I'm trying to say is, my brother in Christ, if you think I could just hack any Instagram account by just looking at the username, I would not be sitting here talking to you. I would be in my $1 million or $10 million mansion. Okay, if that was the case, I would not be here talking with you. I would not be talking to you at like 2 a.m. in the morning, and you just want to hack your ex-girlfriend's account because you think she is happy without you. That's not how it works. Okay. Without it, what? Without even knowing the username? Come on, that's bullshit, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of, scare tactics and gatekeeping going on. Another thing that I've noticed is a lot of times people ask someone they look up to, their mentor or whatever. Most cases are not based on hacking. It's like scamming. It's social engineering. Takshil, that's the word. You know I've seen it recently. A lot of their mentors, and this is something that I've mentioned in one of my talks, and I want to reiterate it right now, because we are on a roll. It's that a lot of times your mentors, your someone you look up to, if you ask them for a script, they don't give it. If you are, and this has happened with me. This is a true story. This has happened with me, that when I have asked my teachers that, hey, how did you do that? That's so cool, I want to learn it. they they are like, oh, I'll give that script to you later. But that later never comes. That later never comes. It's just gone. They gatekeep it. Okay, you ask them, hey, how did you do this? Oh, that's so cool, I want to do it. They'll be like, oh, no, it's special. It's no, that's not how cybersecurity is supposed to work. That's not how education is supposed to work. Okay. Now, once again, to give them the benefit of doubt, sometimes it's because you might not be ready, and sometimes your professor knows that you are not ready. But you know, it depends. It really, really, really depends. That's why I have a very simple fundamental. If you ask me for something, I'll try to gauge your knowledge. If I think that you know what you're talking about, and if I know that you're not gonna be a script kiddie, sure, take the script. I honestly don't care about it. Right? Everyone should have access to all of it. That's how it works. That's how you grow as a community. If you keep on backstabbing each other, it's not gonna work out. Uh, so yeah, whatever. We kind of got a bit sidetracked. Veer, I'm gonna answer your question. What do you, where do you learn these stuff? So these scammers, they have these networks. They are, most of them are from India. Sadly, a lot of them are from India. A lot of them are from Pakistan. A lot of them are from Africa. A lot of them are from, like, Nepal and Myanmar. They are everywhere. Okay, that's what I would say. They are from every third world country. Yes, I called India a third world country. I do not care whatever politician you follow. India is a third world country at this point. They they come from these places, and they have these groups. And once again, the mastermind is always the person who is running the entire scam operation. Now, if you wanna have more information about it, Veer, what I would suggest, are you posting this lecture, Harsh? This is live. Anyone can watch it whenever, right? So, also lecture, as in, are you talking about my lecture that I mentioned? That's already on my YouTube. So yeah. So if you want to actually learn about this, you can actually check Jim Browning. What is a third world country? Takshil, India is a third world country. That's it. It's literally, that's the only definition I would give right now. Okay, so Jim Browning is an amazing YouTuber. This is where I got my inspiration. Literally before years, I used to watch him. I thought it was very, very, very cool that he used to hack these scammers. I'm not hacking them. I'm just getting them. I'm not even doing 0.001% of what he's doing. But he has been my inspiration. This dude, Jim Browning. Once again, this is a scammer. This is not Jim Browning. Uh, and what he does is, I think he finds out these scammers. He hacks their entire camera network. It's a lot of cool stuff. So you'll figure it out later on. But yeah, the point is, there's one mastermind and everyone else is just following what they have a specific script. It's just like a call center. They have a specific script that they are supposed to follow. They don't know any technical stuff. They only know what they're supposed to click here and there. They are literally the human versions, well, the normal versions or the known hacker versions of script kiddies. That's basically it. They don't know how to hack. They don't know how to do anything. They just know this is what you're supposed to follow. This is what you're supposed to. They just have a flow chart, and that's it. Okay. So yeah, I hope Veer, that answers your question. If you want to learn more, once again check out Jim Browning. Amazing dude, amazing, really. There's him, and there's also Kit Boga. Kit Boga is someone, he doesn't hack, but he just trolls the scammer. He wastes like 4 hours of some scammer's life, and I think that's beautiful. So yeah. Daniel also texted, sir, you talked about starting some Python lectures online. Is there still a possibility we can learn that? Daniel, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm not getting time. The Saturday is the only uh me time that I'm getting. Once again, still coming up on YouTube. It's not something that I do for fun. I mean, I'm doing this is fun for me, but it takes a lot of time and effort. And if there's a Python thing that I'm doing, and if I'm doing like one-on-one sessions, or if I'm putting up my personal work into it, I might monetize it. Okay, I might monetize just because once again, knowledge is free. I'm telling you, if you want to learn Python, go learn it anywhere else on the internet. I'll be more than happy to even provide you the resources to learn Python. But if you want to get like my specific time, maybe I can get like a proper, I maybe we can do a course, maybe you can do a one-on-one thing. But even for that, I don't think I have time. Only I get Saturdays and Sundays, right? Because mostly I'm gonna tell you guys my schedule once again, which a lot of you might or might not be interested in this. But I wake up pretty early, so like 7:30, whatever. Then you to your normal breakfast or whatever, you go to work. My work ends at like what, 7. I usually exit by like 6:30 or whatever. Uh, King Gamer, I work at a company known as Inventive. It's a software solutions company, and I'll talk about that in a second. So I go to work. Mostly at my work, I do get some free time here and there, but I can't use that to something else. I usually use it to upgrade myself or whatever. And let's just go back to Obsidian. This is nice. Yeah, that's basically what I do there. Scam baiting is done. Scripting, sure. So as I was saying, I come back and then I freshen up and then I immediately go to gym, and it takes like what, 1.5 hour or 2 hours at gym. By the time I'm back, I'm like fully exhausted. It's like already 9:30 p.m. I freshen up, then I have to cook. Obviously, sometimes my flatmate cooks. He's like nice enough to do that, but there's still a lot of time that goes there, right? Then you might, and that at that point you are just basically tired, right? At that point you are basically tired to do anything else, and that's why I can't be bothered to create YouTube videos or whatever. You got Saturdays and Sundays off. Sundays is mostly, just kept aside for plans with my friends. I might go out, if I'm going out somewhere or whatever. It's Sundays just for that, right? Saturdays, sure, it depends. Mornings, if I have to get some, a lot of shit done, a lot of work done, that's what Saturdays are there for. So, yeah. Sorry, Daniel. Your one word answer, I'm pretty sure that's not what you're expecting, but I just went into a rant about this. But yeah, whatever. Well, think about it is my answer. Always. So yeah, Atharva asked why the Obsidian versus Notion, which is more good. Both of them are separate things, Atharva. The thing is, what are your use cases? Atharva, would you mind typing it out? What do you need it for? Do you have a use case or you don't? It's fine if you don't have a use case. But if you do, let me know what are you looking for. Do you have a specific preference? A lot of times, if you're just getting started, a lot of people don't even know what they want, and that's completely all right. In that case, I would suggest you start with something known as Notion. Notion is a bit more hand holding, but Notion is not. Notion is very proprietary. Notion does not work on text files, and Notion is just a different thing. Obsidian is based on files, whereas Notion is based on pages. So I'm pretty sure there are a lot of videos online. You can actually just search. I'm pretty sure if you just search for Notion versus Obsidian, there would be someone who is, um, good enough, better than me to explain. Yeah, this dude, from Sergio's. I'm so sorry, I'm butchering his name, but whatever. This dude knows. He's a really good. I follow his videos to learn Obsidian myself, because Obsidian is very complicated. So I trust him. You can actually check, his video out. This is the link. If you want me to, I'll just drop a link for you in the chat, and maybe you can watch it. Cool. Okay. Where I work right now, I already mentioned I work at a company known as Inventive. Uh, Inventive. Yeah, this one. Oh, that's just my, yeah, whatever. That's my company address. I honestly don't. That's fine. Uh, cool. Let's not dox ourselves. You can search it later on. But yeah, that's my company. It's a tax solutions company. My job there is, well, obviously I don't develop stuff, not exactly. But I'm a technical trainer slash R&D. Like I do R&D there mostly. So these people, they ask me, for example, hey Aman, this is this new technology. Learn it, take whatever how much amount of time you want. So I learned that new technology, and then I have to give trainings company wide for other developers to use that technology. So there might be a certain module, there might be a certain procedure you want to follow. Once again, it's very high level boring stuff. I don't find it boring. I think it's really smart. But for example, there's a certain way of doing coding. There are certain standards. So for example, they'll ask me that, hey, why don't you come up with a specific standard or documentation? You create your own documentation, and then you teach that to everyone in the company. So everyone who is coding in the company, who's developing, they have to follow these rules. There are certain rules that, you cannot take this code and you cannot directly push it to the source, or you cannot, if you're coding like this, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you have to be careful, the do's and don'ts. That's me. Okay, a very simple example, and that would be, a lot of you guys know about ISO 27001. It's just a set of guidelines for information security management systems, ISMS. For people who don't know, whoever is doing their masters right now, you might know. If Partho is in the chat, Partho, you had fun with ISMS, right? It's a joke. He's gonna understand it. Anyway, so that's a part of cybersecurity. It's just a lot of documentation. That's what I do. I create my own documentation and I explain it to people. It's a complicated job. It's not exactly teaching, but it keeps me connected. It keeps me happy. I still get to interact with a lot of people. But the difference is I am not dealing with 18-year-old hangry teenagers. You know, so yeah, I deal with a more sophisticated crowd. That's it. Okay, I think that should answer most of the questions. Veer is on a roll. Veer is like, hey, I want to know about what's privacy stuff. We'll get there. Okay. Anyone has anyone has any other else questions? Let me know. We might miss out on one topic. We can either do cloud VMs or we can do my privacy extensions because we are already over 12 and I'm still recovering, kind of, you know, health wise. So I'm assuming there are still 11 people on the stream. I don't know how there are still 11 people listening to me, but God bless you. Or maybe the stream is just running in the background and you're already asleep. So, eh, whatever. I'm just gonna check the chat while you guys drop a question or whatever. Okay, privacy. Okay, today Nirav, Takshil, Veer, you guys have been very active. That's fun. It's nice. Atharva as well. Someone Jainik dropped a hi. Hi Jainik. What are you doing? Isn't it like afternoon for you, Jainik? Why are you up here? Okay, today's stream has been very one-sided, I believe. You can take stop this right now too. Huh? Oh, you mean I can stop the stream right now too as well? That's nice of you guys. Um, yeah, I mean we can do that as well. We can pick up later on, I guess. Okay, King Gamer, who are you? I'm not sure. Could you just type your name in? A lot of people are also use own YouTube channels or whatever. So King Gamer, I have no idea. Can I check your channel? There's nothing on your channel. It's just King Gamer. You joined YouTube on 6th August 2020. You don't have any content though. And your profile picture is the Pharaoh X suit from PUBG, I guess. Is it? Yeah, it's a Pharaoh suit. I'm pretty sure. Is that your actual one or did you just take it from the internet? I am not sure. Rohan, could you please give me your last name? I remember at least uh, four different Rohans from different universities. Uh, yeah, Daniel, what about some resources for Python learning? Okay, I'm glad you asked. So, Daniel, what you can do right now is, oh, it's your own X shoot. That's nice. Good for you. Okay. So Daniel, I want you to focus on what I'm about to say. What you can do is, even in future, maybe you can just refresh this specific part of the stream and or it's from online. Cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start speaking right now, and I'll take this specific snippet and I'll put it up on Instagram as well. Okay, so this specific clip is gonna be on Instagram, guys. So be on your best behavior. And Rohan Parmar, okay. Okay, Harsh is getting frustrated. Harsh is like, can we just go back to topics, please? I'm really sorry, guys. Harsh is getting really mad. Just focus on the topic. Okay. So for Python, what you can do is to learn Python, there are a lot of different options. First and foremost is it depends on what type of programmer you think you are. Okay, it depends on a lot of different things, because if you just make a search for Python, python.org, if you're someone, I'm going to give two different options. If you're someone who comes from, learning other programming languages, and if you know other programming languages, then Python is going to be very, very, very simple for you. You just download Python, you just start making a project, you just look at the documentation. It's going to be more than good enough. That's fine. Okay, if you already know a programming language, if coming to Python, it's more than easy enough. It's good. That's all right. Okay, but if you're someone who is a newbie, if you're someone who wants to learn Python from scratch, and if you have no prior experience, I personally believe that that makes you a perfect candidate. I personally believe that that makes you someone who's more than ready enough to learn Python. Okay. Now, first things first, there are certain resources that I would like you guys to actually, go on and check. There are two resources specifically. First and foremost type is, if you're someone who likes to get that, and this is what I personally believe. Once again, that is my category. My category is, if I'm the type of person that I won't learn something until I actually get my hands dirty with it. I won't learn a specific thing until and unless I start doing practicals on it. And there are the other types of people, the second type, who might want to go through all the information, who have a lot of questions, who are like, hey, how does this happen? How does this happen? Excuse me. They want to know all of these things, and those are the types of people who are the second category. Okay, just remember that: first category, second category. First category, they want to get practicals as soon as possible. Second category has a lot of questions, and has a question everything. Hey, why is it called print? Hello world. Why is it called print? What is going on? All of those. So the second category one, my suggestion is go to Geeks for Geeks. My suggestion is go on YouTube and search for code for learn. So, for example, we just go on YouTube and just say Python for beginners full course. Literally any sort of course online. So, code with Harry, you can go for that if you want. My suggestions would be, if please learn it in English. Okay, I understand English might not be your easiest language. Still learn it in English, because a lot of things in Python are connected to the way you speak English language. I'm not exaggerating. Try that. Okay. Any of these tutorials, they are more than good enough, especially free code camp. They're more than good enough. Go for them. Okay. This is for category two. Okay. They will go in very painstaking detail. It's a 4 hour course. Go for it. Okay. But and we'll talk about the buts later on. Category one. If you are from category one, and if you want to learn also there's a Python for beginners. There's one by Network Chuck. I believe he's like kind of a middle ground. So yeah, he has good courses and whatever. You can check it out if you have that type of sense. If you have watched Network Chuck YouTube videos, you can go for that as well. This is also an excellent resource. But this is more hacking focused if you want. But whatever, he doesn't go into that much detail. But this is kind of a refresher course if you already know a different language. So whatever. Now, category one, and my favorite category, and that's the category I belong from, and that is how I learned Python. I didn't learn Python in a college. I didn't learn Python in my school or whatever. I learned Python by myself. Everything in Python, I learned it because I started creating projects when I was in 12th grade or 11th grade. I wanted to do something specific. That's what I did. Okay. I started creating projects. I started copying down codes of other people, and it took me more than 5 years, and I'm still learning something new in Python. I wouldn't consider myself a Python expert. I'm not. I still consider myself an intermediary. I know enough to explain stuff, right? What I did is, first and foremost, what I would suggest is search for Dex on YouTube, or you can go to his website, which is uh, .net. And on his website, once again, you can find a lot of stuff. He's really cool guy, amazing stuff. So if you actually go for his, I believe it's called Python Fundamentals. Inside Python fundamentals, you can go for basics and then you can go for intermediate. Basics mein, the thing is, this dude does not explain what's a variable. He just starts. He just starts and it's really good. His first project is directly just to make a tic-tac-toe game. This is how you learn. I'm suggesting go for this. 99% of my audience, go for this. If you're someone who's creative, if you're someone who can handle it, go for this. You will be sorted. The only thing is, if you do not give enough dedication, if you do not have the discipline to sit your ass down for 2 hours a day, every single day, then I'm sorry. Python is not made for you. Okay. If you do not have, the audacity or whatever to actually sit and do it, don't do it. I'm not discouraging you. I'm just saying you discipline is needed. Okay. And yeah, that's basically my advice. And one last thing, please don't buy courses from Udemy. Please. I have a lot. I know a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure you guys know a lot of people as well, who just go on Udemy and just buy courses, and that's it. They're like, "Oh, I have a course on this," and I would ask them, "Hey, did you start learning?" And they're like, "No." Did you start? And they're like, "Oh, I watched the first video." My brother, that's introduction. No one gives a shit if you watch the first video. A lot of people go 20% in the Udemy course and they're like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I can't do this. Whatever. A lot of people have this logic that, oh, I have paid money, so I am gonna learn it because I have paid money. Bullshit. You think that your motivation comes from because you have paid money? That's not how it works. I don't think that's how it should work. And I will assure you personally, like out of 10,000 people, there will be like one person who has successfully learned Python because they paid money from one of these paid courses. Okay, like from Udemy or whatever. No one learns that. Okay, once again, skipping certificates by skipping in Udemy. Yeah, listen, those certificates from Udemy, they don't matter jack shit. They're stupid. They're literally useless. Okay, you uh, you have to understand, knowledge is free out there. Okay, you learn it from a person. I'm telling you, you want to go to a class and learn Java, Python, whatever, go to a bloody class. Go get a university. See, if your university gives you a choice, not in India at least, but if your university is giving you choices that, hey, you can select this course, go for that. Okay, but don't trust these stupid Udemy courses online. I'm telling you. Okay, I'm sure there are a few exceptions. I like to keep an open mind. I don't like to bash other people. Well, sometimes, but I like to keep an open mind. Sure, out of thousands there might be a one good Udemy course, but that's it. Don't just, a lot of people just hoard a lot of Udemy's courses, and they think that, oh, now I'm gonna know all of these things. No, you have to watch them. Okay, so yeah, that's my advice for Python. Daniel, I hope that answers your questions. And Takshil, yeah, I have a lot of friends as well who do that. Just to skip videos and they get a certificate and they put it in their resume and whatever. Guys, I have done recruiting. I've done recruiting in my company, in my old company. And when I get a resume in my hand, I don't look at the certifications. I look at the projects they have done. I don't look at their 10th grade and 11th grade or 12th grade or their marks. Bloody hell, I don't even look at their marks. I genuinely don't care. I look at their skills. I look at their skills and then I cross question them based on their skills. Okay. Certificates are shit unless they come from a proper thing. Especially don't learn coding from Takshil. Okay. I didn't say that, guys. Takshil is saying that. Okay. I didn't say that. So that's on Takshil. You guys can, I once again, not my opinion. To disclaimer, not my opinion. But Takshil here says Especially do not learn coding from Gujarat University. That's what Takshil says. I am a non partial third party who has no views on this. I cannot legally talk anything about that, but hey, whatever, Takshil said it. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying I disagree with it. Uh, just a slight background or context as to why Takshil is saying this is because he learns in the animation department of Gujarat University. He is himself a student of masters there. Yeah, he's a student, so he has a valid point. He can say it. It's one of those jokes that hey, you cannot insult my college. Only I can insult my college. So trust me, Takshil has every right to do that in the animation department. So yeah, Takshil, a lot of people that you see on the chat right now are my students from the forensic department. Can you say your original name, please? Takshil Mewada, that's his original name. Are you talking to him? That's him. He is in the animation department. Suraj is like no comments. Of course, Suraj. Of course, you are the CR. Whatever. Let's not bring that here. Okay, guys, that's it. Basically, what I'm gonna do is we'll take these topics. We'll maybe explore them next time if we get a time or whatever. But yeah, before this conversation turns political, or this this video or whatever, maybe before it can be used against me, I'm gonna cut my losses. I'm gonna cut the live stream. Simple as that. So everyone, thank you for joining. Really, really, really appreciate all of you guys. So 12 people this time. Last time we had 16. This time we had 12. Completely all right. Uh, yeah, King Gamer. Rohan is like, hey, Suraj, just shut up. Department की बात department तक. Suraj, I have such a good joke. I have such a good answer for it. I'm not gonna say anything. Anyways, as I was saying, thank you everyone for joining. Good night. It was a lovely time. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys got to learn something new. If anyone has any questions, comments, anything regarding the live stream, something that we discussed, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. If you have my number, reach out to me on WhatsApp or whatever. So, yeah, that's it. See you all in the next live stream. Bye bye. I'm gonna end the broadcast because there's a 30-second delay, so whatever. But yeah, that's it.